Welcome here today. As Francois said, we've grown to 2 floors this year and registered almost 800 people. It's become big and huge, as you'll hear some more of. So look, it's a great time for video. It's a great time for us. The world is changing. More than changing, it's disrupting. It's exploding. The world is fragmenting and shifting like tectonic plates. New models are being questioned. Old models are thrown out, and then the new models are becoming relevant again and important. The upheaval is huge, huge, like Donald Trump says, huge, huge, huge. But I'm not even talking about our media and ad world yet. I'm actually talking about, take your pick. There's an amazing disruption occurring in our business world. Technology is forcing change upon consumer habits, which in turn is foisting change upon the media and advertising business. Never before have we seen such an intensely rapid shift in consumer habits, in viewing patterns, in agency shifts. $26 billion this year has been under media review. Some are calling it media palooza. Amazing the competition that's going on. Look at who's competing for the media business today. We've had agencies, technology companies, as well as the big consulting companies are all competing for the media business. Great degree of change going on. Lots of questions and many prognostications. The Pepsi CMO has actually opined and predicted that the agency model will not bend, but it will break. Let's see about that. Let's see what happens. And the competition for video viewers amongst networks, cable, and digital continues aggressively. Video is everywhere. We have over-the-top, on mobile, online, on demand, and in addition to over-the-top, what's under the table? What's going on? These dark pools, agency arbitrage, rebates. What is happening in that area? Our good friend Bob Liodice, the A&A, is doing some great leadership work in trying to clarify the state of transparency. And we're going to talk to Bob a little bit later about that. And cacophony continues. YouTube, Hulu, and others are shifting their focus to their advertiser-exempt models, while Netflix, HBO Go, Showtime On Demand, and others are increasing their valuable video views, but they're not offering ads either. So what's going on here? Where can brands today regain these valuable video eyeballs? A lot of challenges here, and we're going to talk to my friend Chris Curtin about that very subject as well. Now with traditional video, we see cord cutting, cord shaving, and now cordons of cord nevers. 18% of the population have never even hooked up yet. Although they're probably millennials, so maybe they have. I don't know, okay. All of this denying further access for video messaging. Yes, online video is certainly growing, yet the problems of ad blocking, viewability issues, and fraud further changes and challenges today's brands to connect to today's consumers. And we're an increasingly active society. We are out and about more than ever. 70% of people, or I could say people spend 70% of their time out of home, as detailed by Kinetic. So how do people connect to their screens when they're not connecting in the same way, they're out of home, et cetera? Traditional TV is getting disrupted. Online has some vexing issues. Consumers are out and about. What realizations does this bring us to? Number one, it's more challenging than ever to deliver screen and video advertising. Number two, video is still the most powerful form of messaging for brands. So where can brands go to run their video ads in a growing medium without bot fraud, with quality certainty, and with all of their content fully above the fold? Who's got the answer to that one? Great, digital place-based media, of course. Reaching and engaging consumers with digitally networked screens in airlines, in airports, office buildings, malls, restaurants, bars, plus gas stations and nail salons, city streets, fitness clubs, taxis, as you can see, and now even Uber vehicles. And we've got members today that are marketing the advertising in Uber vehicles. These are the media where advertisers are sharpening their focus. And our digital place-based industry is up 14% this year. These are numbers from Miller Kaplan that's done quarterly. This is huge, huge, huge numbers. Renewals and new brands are spending in this space, and they're driving engagement and they're driving business results. As example, Global Eagle Entertainment has added Fiat Marriott, Apple, and myriad others to their screens this year. And this air travel category alone will be $1 billion by 2020. And our association, the DPAA, is up over 35% in membership this year as we continue to work hard to lead the industry to our rightful share of brand dollars. Some of the work in fueling this growth includes our media planner and buyer studies. These studies deliver valuable insights for members' sales and marketing strategies and helps inform them to be their best. In just a few weeks, we'll be releasing our industry programmatic initiative developed with Prohaska Consulting. Matt and his team have done a terrific job in helping lay out the guidelines, the standards, the system goals where we need to go to make our impressions and our processes more automated, more data-informed, and easier to use. Our quarterly member meetings have become virtual mini-summits, kind of a little more intimate version of this one here today. We have leading advertiser speakers, we have newsmakers at these meetings, and they have become dynamic sessions of education and empowerment. And I encourage all of you that are members, keep coming to the meetings. They're growing, they're big, they're vast, and those of you that aren't members yet, come on aboard. What else is new, exciting, and huge? Our members' civic smartscapes, who's running that video up there? Our members' civic smartscapes and intersection are changing the nature of cities. They're turning them into smart cities, serving populations and municipalities with design-winning screen structures. These are 1 gig Wi-Fi's, they got video chat, high-tech public services, more relevant, powerful advertising that's based on data. And with companies such as these, we are driving the Internet of Things. The International Data Corporation reports the IoT increase this year of IoT up 19% is being fueled by digital signage. And our member, the Intel Corporation, and some great friends there, and Maroon and Jose, is one of the grand leaders of this IoT charge. Intel is facilitating smart data, use of beacons, to better understand the connections to consumers, to media, and their purchasing going on. And speaking of purchasing, how are we changing retail? AdSpace, for instance, geo-targets very effectively and delivers video engagement in the majority of malls across all of America. Our member out front is excitingly creating software and hardware that is bringing all the digital ad benefits to bear in our physical world. And then they're adding more. Stay tuned to some great work that Andy's doing over there and everybody else. With Broadsign continues to be the backbone of our industry. We see their work delivering high-quality product that is helping to now drive the programmatic initiatives. Also, we're lucky to have the smart teams at IUTA. IUTA is busy helping media owners create marketplaces by connecting them to the increasing digital demand. Plus, we're delivering scale. Companies like Captivate are huge. They're huge, again. No more slides. They're huge, covering the majority of desirable office buildings across all major North American cities. And Zoom Media has built their successful business to now be the leading screen provider in fitness throughout the US and Canada. Really well-run companies like AMI and TouchTunes not only shine as business models, but dominate brand opportunities outside the home in the evenings with Tap TV and Attract Media. Many new investors are coming into our space, even Google. Video is everywhere. So to put some of this in context for today and tomorrow, as Francois mentioned earlier, eMarketer announced that digital will account for 40% of out-of-home ad spend. So what lies ahead? After taking a long look at many studies, our agency analysis, member tracking, historical digital trends, plus our own programmatic work, I am going to make the following 2 bold predictions. Number 1, by 2017, more than half of all out-of-home advertising revenue will be digital. And number 2, also in 2017, 10% of all digital place-based media will be bought programmatically. Yes, over 50% digital ad revenues and 10% programmatically. Leading up and through this time, we'll be standardizing guidelines, connecting to the pipes and partnerships for programmatic, stepping up our digital and driving money from digital and other budgets. And then I expect a very steep curve of programmatic after we've done that very important work. With the support of our board members, let's see some of them. Thank you. and our speakers, will come later, and our members, and our summit sponsors. Let's take a look at some of the summit sponsors. Look at that. Thank you all very much, and our media partners. We're going to produce a day today of education, information, entertainment, a little bit of that, and exposition. Today we're going to address the issues and the opportunities in this massively shifting environment. We have the pros and the experts. We have great speakers and their stories. You'll take away some big ideas and some bite-sized nuggets that will propel your businesses and your careers. It's all happening here today. The power of TV, the tools of digital, and we're going beyond digital as we lead the Internet of Things. Engage with the Internet of Things as we move towards the Internet of Everything. Engage with the Internet as we become digital ourselves. Experience and enjoy everything today, everything, everywhere, as we kick off the 2015 Video Everywhere Summit. Welcome, everybody, and thank you. So now, we're going to kind of walk around a little bit. Don't be afraid. I may call on some of you. You should be afraid. Where is Mr. Bob Liodice? Bob Liodice is the president and CEO of the ANA, the Association of National Advertisers, one of the true leaders in this business. Bob has done some terrific work lately in really trying to see what's going on, maybe under the table, maybe there's nothing there. But Bob, let me see, let me give you a hug as well.
How you doing?
Always great. Bob had a huge conference a few weeks ago where you did a terrific job, once again, huge. Tell us what's going on. This is important work that you're doing. There maybe hasn't been, and look, there may not be anything there, but it's important work to find out what's going on. How are you proceeding, and
Sure.
Tell us what's going on with that. Is this mic on?
Yes,
Okay.
that's on. If you just listened to your remarks, you could see that the world is changing.
Mm-hmm.
And in that change, the entire industry is having trouble understanding it and to make sense of it.
Right.
It's become far more opaque. And in that opaqueness, there are things that we don't understand. There are decisions that are not necessarily being made with the full honesty, integrity of what marketers need in order to be able to make the very best decisions. Mm-hmm. There's a wide diversity in opinions as to what is in fact taking place or not taking place. Our job is very simple. Get the facts.
Excellent.
And that's all we're trying to do at this part of this study, is to get the facts.
Excellent. Do you have a sense of how long this will take place?
Yeah, it's probably going to be a couple of months on our first phase.
Okay.
And when we figure out exactly what comes out of that study, we'll decide whether we need more phases or we'll just pack our tent and go home. But the important thing is to get some group of individuals to do an independent, objective study of what it is that everybody is debating about. There are lots of points of view.
And no real answers.
And there's no real answers.
Right.
And there's no consensus opinion, but there are lots of opinions.
Right.
And we know that there are issues, but we don't understand exactly where they are. And what we think is, by pursuing this independently and objectively, that we will get a clear-cut assessment as to what in fact is taking place.
Such important work, and you've hired a security firm, kind of, I guess, the people that built Kroll Securities,
Yeah.
and also media auditing, so you're covering both bases. That seems to make a lot of
Yeah,
sense.
security is something of what they do, but really the essence of what they do is fact-finding. So we're bringing together an organization that is expert in digging out the absolute facts and combining that with an industry consultant that understands the transparency issue from top to bottom. By bringing those two assets together, we think that we can get what we need in order to assess how to proceed. And that's why we're working with the 4As to take these answers and to develop principles of transparency that will guide behavior in the future.
Boy, and I think you'll put something in place that should last quite a long time.
We hope
and
so.
be very credible. Bob Liodice.
Thank you.
Let's give him a big hand. Terrific work.